right, we are live in our Facebook page. Hello, 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 my Alzheimer's and Dementia support group. This is Dr. Mike Chua again, physical therapist and certified dementia practitioner. And today we have a special guest for our Tuesday dementia training. We have the awesome, the amazing Miss Bre'anna Wilson. She is an occupational therapist and also a certified dementia practitioner like me. And she is the author of the Grow with Gratitude journal. So again, thank you very much. If you are watching live, please comment live in our Facebook group right now. Please comment live. If you're watching on the replay, please comment replay, and just so we know that you are here in our Alzheimer's and Dementia support group. So for those people who are watching again, please put down where you are from, where you are coming from. I'm here in Martin, Tennessee. Type in what city, state, and country so we would know where you guys are. Well, anyway, without further ado, I got Miss Bre'anna Wilson, occupational therapist and certified dementia practitioner, to teach us about Alzheimer's and dementia, talk about how we can take care of our loved ones. And again, Bre'anna, tell us about yourself, sister.
Hey, Mike. So thank you for having me. My name is Bre'anna Wilson. I currently live in Texas. I'm an occupational therapist, and I'm in the home health setting right now. I've been there for about 3 years. I also have my own company. It's called Bamboo Care. It's a dementia care consultancy. And so our main goal is to empower dementia care partners. We provide them the skills, the tools, the knowledge they need to be confident on their care journey. So that's kind of my background.
Awesome. Well, you mentioned about your bamboo, your company. What does the bamboo means? I mean, I know the bamboo tree, but yours have a different spelling there. It says they're empowering dementia care partners. There you go.
Right. So bamboo is an acronym, and it stands for Believing Affection Means Better Understanding.
Oh, wow.
And so it's the principle, so it's the principle that underlies all our beliefs, all our teachings when it comes to dementia care, because, I personally believe that the best way that we can care for our partners with dementia is by understanding more about what they're going through. So that's kind of where the name comes from.
I'm looking down at my phone who's live there. So we've got, I think, 9 or 10 people who are there. So again, thank you very much for watching there. If you got any questions for Bre'anna, for me, with regards to Alzheimer's and dementia, please comment in our Tuesday dementia training, because this is the only time we could go live. And as we get bigger with all the coaches that we have here, we're going to have like a series of different training. Hopefully we can do it every day, but right now we're only doing it weekly with different practitioners. So, well, going back to you, bamboo, can you say that again?
Believing affection means better understanding.
There you go. Believing affection means better understanding. And like what we always say in Alzheimer's and dementia, it's not all about us. It's about it's about the patient itself, your loved one itself, because they're having a hard time understanding us, and we're having a hard time explaining things to them. So in regards to that, Bre'anna, could you tell us how we can better understand our Alzheimer's and dementia patients or our loved ones? Could you give us like 1 to 3 tips on how we can better interact and understand our loved ones?
Yeah. So my motto is always person first. So person before task. Sometimes when we're really busy and we have our agenda of things to do, we're focused on the task. Like, I need them to do this and I need them to do it now. So we sometimes disregard that, they're people too. They have their preferences, their needs, their desires. So I always like to connect with the person first by just taking a moment, check in, how are they doing, asking them about what's going on with them before I try to do anything with them or ask anything of them. Because maybe they're in pain, maybe they're not feeling good, maybe they're having a bad day. But sometimes you miss that if you're just too focused in on the task itself. So that's number 1.
Wow. Before you go further to the second and the third, this is value bombs, my care partners, caregivers out there. Some people, they call it caregivers. Some people, they call it care partners. Some people, we're just here taking care of our loved ones. But remember what she said. person first, task second. And most of us, even me, I catch myself trying to finish that task first. So, for example, when I was taking care of my grandmother before, the task was to take her to the bathroom. And I forgot that my grandmother was also a person that has emotions, still has feelings, and can still understand my body language, even though I wasn't cussing her out or whatever. And mind you, I wasn't a therapist that time yet, and I was already irritated, and it's just so hard.
Yeah.
And even now, I'm working at the psych hospital. This is just recently. Hopefully, nobody's watching and listening, right? And now I just overheard the CNA or the certified nursing assistant was just kept on telling that to that patient, sit down, sit down, sit down, sit down, sit down. And the person wanted to stand up and walk. Right now, how long have we been talking, Bray? It's like 2 or 3 minutes. My
Yeah.
back's hurting already. I bought a new chair. So for those people who haven't seen my new chair, I had to buy a new chair because my back's hurting. I wanted to stand up. This is just like 2 or 3 minutes of just talking with you, ladies and
Yeah.
gentlemen, in our group. And what more for all these loved ones that cannot even express themselves? And here we are, because we are so task oriented, wanting to sit down this patient, sit down, sit down, sit down, because I have something else to do. Remember, person first, person first. So thank you for pointing that out, Bray. I really love that, because I was very passionate. Okay, I'm sorry. Go ahead. Point number 2.
Okay. So another thing that could help is simplifying everything. So simplifying your language, simplifying the task. So language. Don't try to give long explanations, because likely a lot of that's going to get lost. They might hear 3, 4, 5 of the words that you said, and the rest, they're not going to catch it. So especially if you're trying to get them to do something, you want to keep it simple, because the more you say, the more likely they're going to say no.
That's probably me.
Yeah. I mean, just imagine you're tired. Somebody comes and says, hey, I need you to do it. And you're just like, no, I don't want to do that. So simplify that, and then simplify the task. If you can have things set up beforehand, that's better, because they don't have to fuss with, well, where's this, where's that? Everything's set up, ready to go for them before they get to it.
Oh, wow. That is very, very powerful. So before you go to the third point,
okay,
remember the acronym KISS. Keep it simple. Keep it simple. Just keep it simple, guys.
Super simple.
Super simple, right? KISS. Keep it super simple, my friends, ladies and gentlemen. And I'm a physical therapist. I don't like to make it complicated. Bray knows when we go back to school, we want everything complicated. But when we're taking care of our loved ones, like patients with dementia, you always want to make it simple, like what Bray was talking about, because simplicity is the key. And breaking down that task, imagine if you are bombarding that loved ones with multiple cues, multiple information. They cannot process that information. It takes them how many seconds? 90 seconds to process that information. If you're giving them multiple cues, QUE, multiple instruction, guess what? They're just going to get confused. So like what the Bray said, keep it simple. I'm writing it down because I'm learning.
Okay.
All right. Well, what's your next last tip there, Ray?
Okay, let's see. So number 3, I would say this is hard because it depends on what you have going on. Because some people, they're full-time caregivers. Other people, they still go to work and they caregive. Some are like long-distance caregivers. But if you can, try to spend more quality time with them, not just when you're wanting them to do something, but just spending time with them, having them help you do something. So say you've taken over the cooking, fine, but can they help you stir? Can they wash the vegetables? If you're folding clothes, can they help you fold the clothes? It doesn't matter if it's how you would fold it. It's just to give them something to do with you. Because sometimes when we do want to give them like an activity, we want them to do it and we want to go do something else. But sometimes I feel like those are missed opportunities where you can really connect with your partner if you just spend a little bit more quality time with them versus everything having to be, I need you to do this, and then I need to go do this, So trying to do more things together.
You know what? That's so true. Most of the time we miss that. We miss that the actual one-on-one interaction, and every situation is different. I don't know about you if you're watching list or listening right now. You may be taking care of your patient or your loved ones like 24/7. That's a different story situation. Ours in therapy is also different. So every situation is different. So what Bray is talking about is that you need to spend quality time, where in that way you could really know what they really want, what they're really needing. Maybe as simple as just walking to the bathroom. That's it. Certain cues. Their eyes like this? Are their brow like this? Are they just curled up because they're cold, because they cannot express themselves? So spending quality time with them. And I know some people are like, well, I'm like taking care of them 24/7. That's already quality time. No, it, what the Bray's talking about is that finding what they really need and finding what they really want. So thank you, Bray, for mentioning that out. So so can you tell us about your book, by the way? Mm-hmm.
Yeah, sure. So here it is. I don't know if you guys can see this very well, but it's
see it, yeah.
Yep. And so it's a 100-day gratitude and self-care journal. And
wow.
The reason I was inspired to do this is because I was actually working on a 30-day gratitude challenge. And I was like, this can be so much more than just a challenge. So I wanted it to be 100 days because it's a little bit over 3 months, right? You have to commit. You have to have self-discipline. You have to have self-motivation. You have to want to self-reflect because, gratitude is great, but this is going to make you think because it's not just about you, it's about you and your partner and trying to find balance in your care journey because caregiving is overwhelming. It is. And sometimes we can become very angry and bitter and even resentful sometimes on our journey because things are not what we thought they would be. Most people may think, oh yeah, I'll probably end up being a caregiver at some point. But with dementia, it opens doors to a world that we never would have expected. So that's why I wanted to just go ahead and do a full out journal. And so in the journal, I included over 100 self-care ideas.
Wow.
And then I included over 80 activity ideas for you to do with your partner.
Amazing.
And then there's a habit tracker because sometimes we say we want to do things, but we have a hard time committing because we're not really keeping track of it. And then we forget that it's even something we want to do because life goes on, gets ahead of us. And then there's quotes throughout. And this one's my favorite. And I've heard Mike say this a lot too. Self-care is not selfish.
That is so true.
Yes. Sometimes we feel when we're taking time for ourselves that we're neglecting our partners, but it's quite the opposite. Usually when we don't take time for ourselves, we end up neglecting our partners because we kind of stop paying attention to their needs sometimes. So there's quotes throughout, and then the daily spread looks like this, and I know you probably can't see it well, so I'll just read it to you. So it says your wake up time and your bedtime, because those are kind of important to keep track of, like, are you waking up at a decent time? Are you going to sleep at a decent time? What does that look like? It says, last night I slept. Today I woke up feeling. Today I'm grateful for. Today I look forward to. Today I will practice. Today my concerns and frustrations are. I can alleviate at least one of my concerns and frustrations by. To show myself a little love and attention today, I can blank, blank, blank. And so each day there's a question of the day. So for day one, it's just, why did I become a care partner? Because sometimes that gets away from us. And it's not always everybody's choice per se. Like for some people, they're an only child. So, there was no other option, or none of the other siblings wanted to take it over. So it kind of got placed in your hands, but why did you become a care partner? And then there's a health check. So what did you eat? How did it make you feel? Did you take your medications and vitamins, if that's something you do? How many cups of water did you drink? And did you exercise? And so it's kind of just checking in with yourself, like, how am I feeling today? What's going on? And then a question of the day. And then at the very top, there's a tip that's specific to dementia. So for day one, it's supervision does not equate to imposition. And so that kind of goes with what Mike was saying about the CNA constantly telling the person to sit down, sit down, sit down. You know, he's probably not going to want to sit down. And if he does sit down, it's probably going to last for like 15 seconds and he's going to get back up because there's something motivating him to get back up. So that's kind of the gist of the journal.
Oh, wow. That is amazing. Thank you for sharing that. For those people who wants to get that journal, it's available on her website, on Bre'anna's website. We're going to put the link later on our chat box. And of course, it's also available at Amazon. Am I correct, Bray? The link is also in the actual title of our live video. And I just want to reiterate what Bre'anna was talking about journaling, because there's power over writing and journaling. You know, even God himself, I don't know what religion you guys have, but even God himself, he had somebody to write the Bible to make it a reality. And same thing with our lives. To tell the truth, I have my own journal too. You know, I write down. I have a journal here and another journal over here, and even in our program, we have what you call Caregiver Freedom Journal. Why? Because I really advocate, that you write down what you're feeling, write down what you have accomplished, write down what you are planning to do. Because if you don't write it down, it's not going to happen. So you need to write it down. If your goal is to be a better caregiver, you have to write it down. If your goal is to be able to take care of your patient or your loved one better, you got to write it down. Even in the real world, I mean, this is the real world, right? But even in the real world, when we go to the hospital and we have somebody that needs to be CPR, we have something that needs to be written down and signed if they need CPR or not. It's called advance directive. And if you want to be a better caregiver for your loved ones, if you want to be a better care partner to your patients or to your loved ones, you need to write something down. And this is not just only for your loved ones. It's obviously for you. And that's why it's called Grow with Gratitude. The more you're writing down positive things, guess what? That's what you're going to attract. There's this part in your brain called reticular activating system. And this is real. That's the part of your brain called reticular activating system, RAS. Whatever you're focusing on gets magnified. So if you're focusing on the gratitude of your life, you're being thankful of what you have right now. Yes, we're not thankful that our loved one had dementia, but if you're thankful that you have a roof over your head, if you're thankful that you're still able to take care of your loved one, if you're thankful that you're still able to get up and write a journal and hear and watch this video, guess what? That's something to be thankful for and be grateful for. So there's power over there. So it's called the reticular activating system. You can Google it. Not right now. Let's keep watching, right? But called reticular activating system. What you focus on gets magnified. What you focus on gets magnified. And I don't know about you, Bray. When I was driving my old Volkswagen Beetle, I see old Volkswagen Beetle all the time.
Yeah.
And now that I'm driving a Honda CRV, and I'm like, why am I seeing all these Honda CRVs? Because that's what you're focusing on. So same thing with writing a journal. So grab that journal of Bray, Grow with Gratitude journal. Grab it from Amazon or on her website, and that way you could improve your well-being. We're talking about well-being, your mindset and everything.
Yes, because there's a lot of benefits for gratitude just by itself. I mean, studies have shown when you are constantly expressing gratitude and taking that time out, increased happiness, lower stress levels, boosted immune system. You have just a better outlook on life because this kind of what Mike was talking about. There's a positivity loop. When you're in this positive mindset, you have a tendency to constantly look at kind of the brighter side of things. And then also improved relationships with your loved ones when you're kind of in this better mind state, if you will.
No, wow. That is very powerful. I was clicking on the what you call this on my cell phone who's watching in our show. All right. Well, any last parting wisdom for us, Bray?
Well, let's see. No, not really. The only thing I will say is to make sure you're taking care of yourself. Make sure you're taking that time out. Sometimes when we think of self care, we think it has to be this big event, this whole day where we're pampering ourselves. But I want to encourage you to try to find just small parts of your day that you can fit in something for yourself, whether it's just doing a 15-minute yoga, 10-minute yoga, reading part of your favorite book, making yourself a cup of coffee and sitting down to enjoy it. Just something small out of the day that you can do for yourself is self-care. It doesn't have to be this whole day pamper session to be self-care.
Oh, wow. That is so powerful. That is so powerful. So I'm just going to write on what Bray was talking about. Self-care is not selfish. You cannot give what you do not have, my friends, my Alzheimer's dementia support group. You cannot give what you do not have. That's why it's called caregiving. Same thing with life. I cannot give money to somebody else if I don't have money myself. I cannot give food or drink or water to my kids and my loved ones if I don't have food and water to my kids if I don't have it. Same thing with you. You cannot give what you do not have. You cannot give care to somebody else if you don't take care of yourself. So you got to take care of yourself. So self-care is not selfish. Write a journal, go out, get some sunshine, vitamin D, whatever. Move, move. Why? Because movement matters to your brain matter. And if you're taking care of a dementia patient, dementia loved one right now, guess what? The highest risk factors obviously is age and heredity. And if you are if you have a loved ones that has a dementia or Alzheimer's, you could probably have one too. So you have to improve. You have to move, because movement matters to your brain matter. And motion is the lotion to your joints. Motion is the lotion to your joints, and same thing with your brain. All right. Again, thank you very much, Alzheimer's and Dementia Support Group. Bray, again, thank you very much. Where can we reach you? Your website or email? Where can we reach you in your practice?
Okay, yeah. So my website is letsbamboo.com. So letsbambu.com. My podcast is whatthedementia.com. So What the Dementia. And then I'm on Facebook. If you if you Facebook Bamboo Care, you can find my Facebook page there. We're also on Instagram. But yeah, so just letsbamboo.com. You can email me at hello@letsbamboo.com.
Oh, wow. That is amazing. Do you mind putting those link to in our, let me put it down now in the chat box.
Yeah, I can do it.
Letsbamboo.com. Is that your website, right?
Uh-huh.
And then your email is at hello@letsbamboo.com. Am I correct?
Yes.
Bamboo.com. Her email. And then that's it, right? And then your podcast again.
I added it.
Podcast at what's the name of your podcast?
I added it. It's What the Dementia. Yeah,
okay. What the Dementia. That's a nice name there. What the Dementia. WTD. All right. Again, thank you very much, Bray. Again, we appreciate you. Again, Alzheimer's and Dementia Support Group. Before I let you go, always remember the word FAST. FAST. Letter F. Find friends that will help you and push you to your next level, because you are the average of 5 people you hang out with. So who are you hang out with? Are you hang out with awesome people like Bray? Guess what? You're going to be awesome too. If you're hang out with other caregivers who are also burned out, guess what? You're going to be burned out too, because burnout is real, my friends. So you have to find people that are actually going to help you. Find support group, find a coach, find somebody that you can talk to. Because remember, in order for you to move on to those different stages in life, you have to do 3 things to move in life. So, for example, you're clinically depressed. Depression is real. Most of the caregivers are depressed, and in order for you to move on to that next stage of acceptance in that Kubler-Ross stages, you have to do three things. Three things. First is medication management. You need to have a doctor, clinically diagnose you and release certain medication, release certain hormones. Next is therapeutic activities, movement, movement, movement. Third, you know what? Coaching and counseling. You need to talk to somebody like Bre'anna, like what the other coaches that we have here. Talk to somebody in that way you can release certain hormones. When you're talking to a professional, guess what? They know what to tell you. They know what to do with your situation. In that way, they can bring out the best in you. So letter F, find friends, find a coach that will bring out the best in you. And letter A on the word fast. Letter A is take action. All this stuff that we're doing here every Tuesday is free. You can post questions here in this group, and this group is free, because take action. Take action. It doesn't have to be big action. Small action will do. When we're telling you to take action, go out, move around, exercise. You don't have to have a big, gym subscription. Just even in your house, doing 5 minutes of movement, shoulder shrugs while you're taking care of your loved ones, looking left and right, raising that arm. It doesn't have to be complicated. So take action. Letter S is obviously subscribe and share the podcast of Bre'anna. Subscribe and share to her show and her book or whatever she has. Subscribe and share. And last but not the least, letter T. I know I keep on talking, right? Letter T. You got to learn how to teach it. Why? Because when you hear it, you forget. When you see it, you remember. But when you're actually teaching it, you're actually understanding it more. So teach it. Teach other people about dementia, because the more we make this public, the more we make this more people who are aware, the more we get funding for whatever, government stuff that we can get. I don't get it, but the more aware that we get. So, all right. So again, any last parting wisdom for us, Bray? I know I keep on asking
thank you for having me. I know this was long overdue for me to be here, so thank you for having me. And yeah, if you guys ever have any questions, feel free to email me. Feel free to post under this video if you're watching this on the replay. If you have any questions that you want addressed, I can definitely come back and answer your questions.
Awesome. Well, again, thank you very much, Bray. Appreciate you. And like what I said, if you have any questions, reach out to Bray. Her email is hello@letsbamboo.com or on her website and also on her podcast. Again, thank you very much, Alzheimer's and Dementia Support Group. We appreciate you. Have a good night. Be awesome. Be great. Be excellent. And I'm going to share this post here. I was supposed to play something, and it's not playing. Go.